What's up, bud? It's Rob. This is Apparel Success. And in this video here, I have some pretty big news to share with you, which is that I'm switching to using a fulfillment company for my clothing brand. What this means is that you're no longer going to see me packing orders here. You're not going to see these racks of inventory behind me. And the reason for that is because I've partnered with a company that's going to be handling all my inventory, that's going to be shipping and fulfilling all of the orders that I get for my clothing brand. And I want to make a video here just sharing why exactly I'm making this transition and all of the little details around all the changes that need to happen in order for this to take place. So here it is. Apparel Success is sponsored by my buds over at DesignCrowd. If designs are something that you struggle with, then I really recommend that you give them a shot. You post a project on DesignCrowd, amazing designers from all around the world are going to compete for your project. You choose the winner, then you get that design plus revisions. These are some of the best-selling designs for my clothing brand, and I got the designs made through DesignCrowd. If you're interested, head over to designcrowd.com/apparel to learn about the special offer that I have for you where you can save up to $100, or simply use the discount code apparel when you post a project on DesignCrowd. So, why have I decided to switch to using a fulfillment company? What's my reasoning behind this? Well, let me share it with you. Basically, over the past year, my clothing brand's grown like crazy. And it's gotten to the point where I've had to make a decision. Do I want to grow out that side of the business? Am I somebody who's even interested in growing out that side of the business where I have to hire staff to pack and fulfill orders all the time? Where I have to be looking for bigger and bigger warehouses to move my business to store all the inventory that I'm shipping out? And do I really want to grow out that side of the business? Or do I want to partner with a fulfillment company that will handle all of that side of the business for me and where I can focus on what I'm good at, which is marketing and the front end of my brand, right? Working social media, working the Facebook ads, working the brand. And I've come to the conclusion that that is my strength. That's what I want to work on. And there's not really a part of me that's truly interested in growing out that other side of the business where I have to manage all these people, packing and sending out orders all the time, deal with folding and sorting all the clothing here. And if I can work with somebody else that can do that, that's just such a better option. Now, I want to be clear here that I'm not doing print on demand. I'm still making all of my clothing custom and then shipping it to a fulfillment center who's going to be organizing it all and fulfilling all the orders for me. And I've been thinking about doing this for a while. The reason why I hadn't was because, my brand just hadn't quite gotten to the point where it was out of control and I couldn't handle it on my own. And I was hiring a few friends here to help me out and it was going kind of well. And then all of a sudden it kind of got to a point where it was just ridiculous and I had to hire more people and I just didn't want to do that. So it became very real. Also, a lot of these fulfillment companies have a minimum amount of orders that you need to be receiving for your brand in order for them to work with you. The fulfillment company that I'm working with is actually, funny enough, somebody who was watching this YouTube channel when I first started and grew their brand into a big brand. And their brand's called Indestructible MFG. If you haven't heard of them, check them out. Great brand run by an awesome dude. And I've gotten pretty close with him over the past few months. And what he does is he basically has a warehouse where he fulfills for his brand and other brands. And so we were talking and it just makes sense for me to work with him, especially because I've gotten so close with him. So I'm not sure if I'd be going with this option if I hadn't gotten so close with somebody who runs a fulfillment center, really gotten to know them and trust them. And just as sort of like a note here, if you're thinking about doing this for your own brand, definitely be sure to learn about who's running it and get close with them before you decide to partner with them. The fulfillment company that he runs is called Lickety Split, and he fulfills for about 10 other brands as well at the same time. And this is particularly good for me because he's located in Toronto, which is the exact same city that I get my clothing made in. So I can get my clothing made in Toronto and have it shipped to my fulfillment center, which is basically next door with minimal shipping costs, fast shipping times, and it's just practically perfect for my own brand. Now, the way that this is going to work is he's going to charge me a fee every time he sends out an order for my clothing brand, which makes sense because he's handling all the fulfillment for my brand. I believe it was between $2 and $4 for every single package that he sends out for me, which you might be thinking sounds like a lot. But here's my explanation around this. For my own clothing brand, fulfilling orders here, the more orders that you send out, the lower your shipping costs go, and the more that you can negotiate down your shipping costs. So if I'm shipping out 1,000 orders a month, I get a particular rate. If I send out 5,000 packages a month, then the Postal Service will give you another discount. Well, because this guy is sending out orders for 10 other brands, the cost of shipping is so much lower than what I'm paying currently to ship out my items that he's going to be able to lower my overall shipping costs. So basically what I'm going to do is lower the shipping costs and then just add in the fulfillment charge, and it's going to all be tied into the same shipping cost. So basically my shipping costs are going to stay relatively the same, if not lower. And all that I'm gaining here is working with a fulfillment company that's going to handle all my packages for me. So it just seems like a perfect win-win situation. Now, another huge component in all this is that I'm switching from using Wix to using Shopify. And the reason why I'm doing that is because Shopify is going to integrate better with their shipping service than using Wix currently does. And also, I've been meaning to switch over to Shopify for the longest time and get really my hands dirty with it and learn it more. But Wix was working so well for me in the past that I never had a reason to, and now this is really nudging me to really make that transition into using Shopify. So there's so much change happening here, but it's all super exciting for me. It's going to free up so much of my time to focus on the areas of my clothing brand that I'm actually good at, and I really think that it's going to help take my clothing brand to a whole other level. And all of the details around this transition that I'm making, I'm going to be talking about on this channel, and I'll share with you all the details around it. And I can assume that anybody who's fulfilling a lot of orders for their brand is probably thinking, holy crap, this is a lot of work. And packing all these orders and hiring people to pack all these orders and dealing with all the inventory management is a pain in the ass. So I hope to really help out those of you who are going to go through that as well, and who also are considering this option for your brand. Just out of pure curiosity, if you're sending out a lot of orders for your brand right now, have you thought about using a fulfillment company? Has it become a pain in the ass packing orders all the time for your brand? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you haven't already, check out my free clothing brand marketing masterclass. All you have to do to get access is go to apparelsuccess.com/masterclass, and you can watch the whole thing for free. And if you've made it to this point in the video, I want to tell you about the closed Facebook group that we have for Apparel Success. There's a link in the description. Follow that link, join us in the group, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.